Welcome back. I'm here with Hassan Shibli. He is the Executive Director of the Council on American Islamic Relations. Hassan, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, if you had to choose, if you had to look into what would be your crystal ball, given everything you know, what happens if we don't go in?
I think if we don't go in, many more people will die. We're at 100,000 now. It could reach 1 million easily. I think eventually the government there would dissipate and it would just become a land of tribal warlords, right? Where different extremist factions may be in charge, maybe even get those chemical weapons that have been in the hands of the Assad regime, whom Assad has used so far. And it could pose a big threat to our allies in the region and to us as Americans. I think we get involved now to stop the further bloodshed, secure those chemical weapons, and help people there, have democracy and have the freedom that we often cherish. And I think the real question is, I know the people there want democracy, but do we want them to have democracy?
That has always been my question, because we tend to want democracy in other countries, but then when the people elect someone that we don't necessarily agree with, whether it be someone who has a more extreme religion or someone doesn't share our values as Americans, then we're angry about the fact that we created democracy that didn't go our way.
Well, I think history has shown us that we're not interested, our leadership at least, has not been interested in democracy as much as they're interested in yes men, right? Those that will give us the good oil deals that we want, those that will give us good access to those natural resources, and that's been our interest. And because we haven't been sincere with the people in the Middle East, they've seen that. They've seen that America has not had a track record of supporting democracy, it's had a track record of supporting yes men, and that's why in Iran...
most Americans, Hassan, really just don't care. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They see the pictures of children being gassed and they feel bad about it, but then they go on about their day. So my question is, how do we as Americans decide that it is worth our own sacrifices to help people in the Middle East, given the fact that most people do not think that people in the Middle East actually like America?
I think that's something people will be shocked. It's no lie that people in the Middle East really hate our foreign policy. Again, look at what happened in Iraq and Afghanistan and the hundreds of thousands of innocents that died there. That being said, they love the American people. I used to take fellow Americans, Christians, Jews, people of all different faiths to visit Syria, and they would feel so welcome. They'd say, Syria is their second home. People are all people at the end of the day, and I think we need to learn to love and respect each other as human beings. And just, I urge your viewers, go and Google the gas attacks and watch the videos of the 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old children who are lying in rows by the dozens who've been gassed to death or who are dying, right? And ask yourself, what if this was my children? We need to do something. We're not saying it's just our responsibility, no, but maybe America can take the lead in bringing about a positive change. Unfortunately, we've lost the credibility to do that. I think it's to work with the people within the Middle East to accomplish that change, but we can't afford to stay silent.
If we say no and don't go, is our credibility gone forever? Or do you think we can still gain a consensus with other UN partners?
I think if we don't go, I think our credibility and our image will be this, that we act when it's in our economic interest, like in Iraq, even though we don't have justification, like in Iraq, but we don't act when it isn't in our economic interest, even though we have justification, like in Syria. The reality is, look, this is the first time I've really stood against the anti-war movement. Typically, I've been very much with them, but I think when it comes to Syria, you cannot be both anti-war and anti-intervention. Why? Because if we don't intervene, the war is going to continue and many more people die. I never thought I would be even slightly sympathetic to America organizing any sort of military support in Syria, whether it's arming the rebels, whether it's a no-fly zone, which is, I think, what we need. We don't have to send our cruise missiles. Just establish a no-fly zone where we don't let Assad bomb civilians and support the moderate rebels. That's all really that I think would be ideal for the people there. If we don't do that, I think the war will continue and many more people will die. And remember, Assad right now is being supported by Hezbollah, right? A guerrilla terrorist organization. He's being supported by the Iranian people, by the Iranian government, and we need to get involved and help the moderates over there.
Okay, Hassan, I'm out of time. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure.
All right, that's it for us. Have a great week. Tell your friends about Flashpoint. See you next week.